You'll have to excuse the dryer noise that's right below me. Getting laundry done is very important today. Hi friends, welcome to the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 163. My name is Lori. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband Ryan, and I love to crochet and I love to knit. And you can find all of that yarny goodness on my social media, which is all linked down below. Instagram, Ravelry. My email is there as well. If you have any questions, my store on Ravelry is also linked down there as well. Designs that I have made, you can go purchase those patterns. So, yes. Any yarns, fancy yarns that I talk about, because I'm an enabler. I will link those as well as all of the patterns that I'm going to talk about. They will be linked there in the description box, either underneath this video or to the side, depending on where you watch. Anyway, it's all there. So, welcome. Long time no see. These last few weeks have been so busy, but with good things, you know? So 2 weekends ago was district assembly. For those of you who are new, my husband is a pastor of a small church. It's actually just behind my house. And so we are part of the Church of the Nazarene. The Church of the Nazarene has districts. And so once a year we get together to get a report on the district. Excuse me. Just finished lunch. And then we also have ordination of new pastors and all that stuff. So there's a lot of business that needs to be done, but it's also a good time to see people that we haven't seen in a while. It's a great time. Our district superintendent is somebody I have known since high school. So it's weird that he's my husband's boss. And also his wife was my next door neighbor, freshman year of college. In the dorm, we were separated by closets. Our closets were along that wall, but I could still hear her laughing at 3, 4 in the morning. And speaking of her as well, so we had just started the service, we were singing worship songs, and she walked by, she saw me, she gave me a hug. I was like, oh, it's so good to see you, so glad you're here. And she looked at me, she's like, where's your knitting? Because she knows me so well. It's in the basket under my seat. I'm worshiping right now. I'm not gonna knit or crochet during worship time. That's not the time to be doing that. When your husband's giving the report, then I will. And I'll show you that here in a second. But that just made me laugh. And then last week we had our NMI convention, so it's Nazarene Missions International. It's basically an update of all the missionary work that's going around the globe for the Church of the Nazarene. I am on the district council, and of course, being a former missionary kid, I was very excited. I love hearing about missionaries. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get emotional here. Yeah. It was something else. Sorry, I just got a text from Ryan. So they had a video thanking people because we have a special fund that we all give to throughout the year, and it helps pay for the missionaries and building projects and all that stuff. So when missionaries come to our church, they don't ask for money. They just say, thank you for giving. Because we've already given. But the special video. Okay, we'll get through this. The special thank you video they mentioned the country that I lived in and the work that's going on there. And it was just, I cried every time I watched it, because they showed it at District Assembly, they showed it at NMI Convention, and then we showed it at church. And it was just like, that's home. Okay, we'll get ourselves together here. So anyway, glad I brought tissues over. Yeah, it was just, and my convention is hard because I have to help with the setup and the cleanup and all of that, and then it's a long day of business. And I was kind of frustrated last week because one, I had a migraine and trying to do all of that. I've kind of conditioned myself to just push through the pain a lot, when really I should have just been in bed. But and then I wasn't reelected to the council, which was fine. I was like, great, I can have my Saturdays back. It's only 4 Saturdays out of the year, not a big deal. But then I got a text the Monday after from the president, and she was like, hey, I saw you weren't reelected, but could you still join us? I would miss you too much. And I was like, I can do that, that's fun. It's a passion of mine, and so anything I can do to help. So yeah, so those were my weekends, these last 2 weekends. Today, Ryan and I have nothing, and it's been glorious. Didn't get up till 8:30 this morning, and it's been a nice day so far. It's only not even halfway done yet, but I will say though, these last few weeks, one thing that I have been obsessed with is Artemis 2. How many of you are like space girlies? And I know Kalisha is. But like, I've just been in awe of the photos that they've been that they sent back from their trip. The interviews that they've given. I've tried to watch just about everything I could find. But I will say, as a Gen Xer, like I saw several people mention this on TikTok, and I was like, yeah, I noticed myself doing this too. So it was like, during the launch, how many of us Gen Xers were holding our breath, because we were kids when the Challenger blew up. And even though I was living in another country and I didn't watch it live, I still remember where I was when I found out about it. As a 5-year-old, I remember, I can picture that room. And then, later after college, when Columbia broke up, I was coming back. Like, so watching the landing and the splashdown, and I was just like holding my breath the whole time, and because we've all been so traumatized. And then, of course, one of my favorite movies is Apollo 13. And they, one of the things that they talk about is the parachutes, will they open? And so, holding my breath, waiting for those parachutes to open. And I will say, like, I didn't even watch all of this live. I watched the launch later. I watched splashdown later. Well, one, because I was at District Assembly when they were splashing down, so couldn't watch it live. But watching it back later, knowing they were fine, I was still like, so it's still been just wonderful that it was just watching the way that they gelled together, watching them take these beautiful photos. I actually have one as my wallpaper, although it's not one that they took because it's of them landing. The photo of this photo of the moon, like there's colors on the moon. What? So So, like, there's just been so much that I've just been in awe of. And it's something that's been making me happy. And I'm so glad that they're safe and that they are good people and just, yeah. Yeah. It was good. And then I've been seeing all over TikTok people getting tattoos with the moon on it. And speaking of tattoos, I got a new one. I am so excited about this tattoo. I cannot tell you. Okay, so getting as close as I can. So we have a cross, we have a heartbeat, and then we have a yarn heart with a crochet hook and knitting needles. And so it's faith, hope, and love, because I love yarn. I saw this on Pinterest years ago. I'm probably 10-15 years ago. And then when I started knitting, I was like, well, if I get that tattoo, I need knitting needles in it. And trying to find a yarn heart with crochet hook and knitting needles is impossible. And then I didn't want just a plain straight cross. I wanted a fancy cross, you know? I wanted it a little girly. So I remember drawing it out when I was working at the CPA office. I have now been at my current job for 5 years. Well, at the end of May, it'll be 5 years. So I remember drawing it out over 5 years ago, and just not being happy with it. Just hopefully the tattoo artist can make something cool out of it. And then at my current job, me and my coworker Tara, who is an artist, and I asked her, I was like, do you mind see if you could draw this? And so she was like, I think she was flying somewhere, and she was just, I was bored, so I drew it for you, here you go. And so then I was like, okay, now I need a tattoo, an appointment to go get this tattoo. Ryan and I had an appointment. He was going to get a tattoo as well. We had an appointment 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And that was the time we found out that Daisy, our cat, had cancer. And she ended up passing away within 2 days. So it's like, well, we have to pay for this now. Tattoos are going to have to wait. So, and then in driving past that tattoo place, I noticed his sign is no longer in the window. Okay. So, okay, now we gotta find a new tattoo place. And, so I don't know where to go. And honestly, I didn't even speak it out loud. It was just in my head. We need to find a new tattoo place. And that's when I came across Chelsea on TikTok. She actually has a studio not far from here. And her studio is called Vixen Inc. I'll link her TikTok down below. But she specializes in, I'm just going to be honest, we're going to be very forthcoming here. She specializes in restorative breast tattoos. For women who have had breast cancer, who have had to have a mastectomy due to breast cancer. So, I mean, the scars that are left on your breasts are disgusting. Like, they're very jagged. They don't they don't make it look pretty. They take off the nipple and the areola. And so you're left with breasts with these ugly jagged lines across them. And so I totally understand why someone would want to have tattooed breasts. So she specializes in actually making an areola and a nipple that looks realistic. It looks 3D. She does a very good job. If you go to her website, you can see them. But she also does, like, some women may not want that. And honestly, the other tattoos that I've seen, it's like, I'd rather have those than an areola, just to be honest. But, like, there was one where she had done flowers that kind of came up and, like, formed a heart, or, like, so cute. I was like, so it looks like you have lace on you now. It's like, now that's what I would want. So yeah. So I found Chelsea through TikTok. Messaged her, hey, can you get me in? Would this be okay? Would you be able to do this tattoo? Like, I know this is what you specialize in other things, but will my money help pay for this, you know? And she's like, absolutely, that looks like a great tattoo. I would love to do that. So I went down with my friend Lori. Hi, Lori. And I went and got my tattoo. It was my first time going without my husband. So I usually have him there as emotional support husband. I usually squeeze his hand the whole time because it hurts. It hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It hurts. Not as bad as this one. This one hurt really bad. And the one on my foot hurt too. But that one's tiny, and so it didn't take long. It's just an outline of Africa with a little heart where I used to live. So yeah, I've been obsessed about this since I got it. It's a little over a week old. So it's still kind of healing, but I love it so much. Look at it. And of course I had to have a purple heart because, you know. So anyway, that is almost 20 minutes of me catching up with these last 2 weeks. 3 weeks actually. So let me check these text messages real quick and we'll get back in. I wish I hadn't checked those. No, he sent me, he's helping a lady with her grocery run. I guess they had to go to Petco and there are kittens. We recently got our carpets cleaned to prepare for hopefully getting kittens soon. And then we talked, there's 2 kittens that were kind of available, or I don't even know if they still are or not. But we were talking and we're both still kind of like enjoying this, not having to worry about cats. We're still enjoying that. Like, we don't have to worry about a litter box. We don't have to worry about shots because our 2 cats that we had were both diabetic and our lives revolved around giving them their insulin. And it's been so nice not to have to worry. Not that every cat gets that, but yeah, we've just been so. I mean, honestly, I thought we were going to be having cats this Saturday. Like, we would be getting them. And then we sat and talked, and it was like, maybe not. Maybe not. So, it's okay. It'll be fine. They will come to us when they come to us. So, anyway. New segment of my podcast is D.O.R.C. Drink, outfit, reading, and then the rest of it is the crafting. So, drink for today. I'm drinking water. It is a flavored acai berry flavoring thing that I added to it. Very good. It is in a color changing cup that I got from Llama Llama Ding Dong, R.I.P. But it's my crochet fuel with a little yarn ball at the top. I'm drinking water. Pat myself on the back. Yes, indeed. Outfit for today. Starting with my own design. And I have it on backwards. This is my persuasion shawl. Persuasion being the book by Jane Austen. It is my favorite book by Jane Austen. So this is supposed to represent Anne and Captain Wentworth. And honestly, I'm getting hot and sweaty, so we're just going to take it off. But yeah, you're supposed to have this side showing. You can see the ridges. Yeah. Yep. It's supposed to represent his Navy life, very rigid and all that. So that is a pattern. I will link it down below. It is one of my designs, so there you go. Also, I figured since I'm wearing this t-shirt, that would be a fitting shawl to wear. I'm wearing my new Jane Austen book t-shirt. So it has all 6 books on here. I like all of them to an extent. I mean, Emma gets on my nerves. Mansfield Park is kind of but the others I like. I love Pride and Prejudice, but Persuasion is my favorite. So anyway, but speaking of books, reading. So we've talked about my drink, my outfit. I am currently reading The Other Bennet Sister. I cannot remember the author. I will put it on the screen though. So there's a new BBC mini series that's out now, at least over across the pond. I think it's supposed to come to the US May 6th, and I don't know which streaming service it's going to be on, but basically The Other Bennet Sister is talking about Pride and Prejudice, and it's about Mary Bennet. So you have Elizabeth, who marries Darcy. You have Jane, who marries Mr. Bingley. Bingley. And then you have Lydia, who marries Wickham. All that. So The Other Bennet Sister, part 1, is retelling of Pride and Prejudice, but from Mary's point of view. Mary is the middle sister. She's, kind of in the background through the whole thing. And so I am now into part 2, which is after Pride and Prejudice. So it's very good. It's very good so far. So this is like one of the only times where I have been like reading a book when it's timely. Does that make sense? So like with Bridgerton, the show came out, I heard about it. I didn't watch it till after like a few seasons had come out. And then I went and read the books. So I just had things all kind of mixed matched, out of order, and way behind the times. But this I feel like, I'm like at the right time. So that's what I'm reading right now. So that'll be my 19th book of the year. I finished Jane Austen at Home by Lucy Worsley. Very good book. Really enjoyed that. Nonfiction, talking about Jane Austen's life. And then I quickly all of these are audiobooks, I should say. Because that's just how I prefer to do my reading right now. I did listen to a book about, because of the whole Artemis, too. It was Apollo and Artemis. It was a 2-hour book. Didn't take me, I'm listening at 1.5 speed. But the book was all over the place, so I still don't really understand what Artemis is. I have more of an understanding, but yeah, that book I would not recommend that book. So, shall we get on with crafting? I think we should. So, drink, outfit, reading, crafting. Here we go. We're going to start with some finished objects. I have 3 finished objects. Yep. Actually, let me grab a sip. Grab a sip of water quick. So in this bag, lovely bag I got from my church for Mother's Day, is a baby blanket. I was like, what is in that pocket? Got it. So this is actually I put all three things in here. It's a present for my coworker whose wife is having a baby. I think we're gonna try to do gifts soon because she's getting to that point where it could be any day. It's not till June, but you never know. So, first thing I want to show you, baby blanket. I have not washed this yet. I don't know if I will, just because baby skin, I don't have the right laundry detergent for one. But so this is the Paw Prints blanket by Lauren Willis. This is a hobby pattern, and I did not bring the yarn. The yarn that I used. I do have the yarn ball. It is Premier Basics DK. It is 100% acrylic, and the colorway is celery. So this is the blanket. I think it turned out so cute. This little gummy bear here, that's where I was last time, so I did quite a few. I did more repeats than they said because I feel like it would end it here. Yeah, so I figured this is a nice size to just put in the carrier with him. I did the paw prints because they have a dog that they love. Also, Josh, he has a cat, but it's at his parents' house because his wife is severely allergic. And this week he found out there's a blood clot, so the cat's not doing well. So this is also in honor of Sherlock as well. So there's the baby blanket. Josh also loves fishing, so I made this halibut a couple of weeks ago. You've seen this. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this, but I'll just you can do with it what you want. And then I also made this walleye. Both of these patterns, the halibut and the walleye, you can find these patterns on the National Parks website. Yeah, so several park rangers came up with crochet patterns, knitting patterns. There's hats, there's a cactus, there's fish that you can knit and crochet. Super cute. Wanted to do it just to support our national parks. But yeah, not sure how I feel about those, but we'll skip to them. It'll be fine. So those are two of my finished objects. Okay. I've forgotten I finished these. It's been so long since I've talked to you. So in here, let me pull out the bag. I'm living in this project bag. Or my Baja socks. Living in this Tiana and Rapunzel bag because I had gone on a Disney cruise. Loved the Disney cruise. Also have Be a Nice Human, Panda Ridge, which is in the San Diego Zoo, which is where we went before we went on the cruise. And then we came home from the cruise. Actually, after the last time I recorded, we went to go see Hamilton, and I had to get the Schuyler Sisters pin as well. And it goes really good with this bag. The yarn that I use for my Baja socks is all I have left. It is Knit Picks Felici. It's just self-striping yarn. I remember my glasses. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and the colorway is board shorts. Obviously, since it's self-striping, all you can really see is just the one color. There's another color peeking in through there. But yeah, let me just show you my board short socks. Actually, my Baja socks. So, here we go. Last time you saw, I was here. So, when we went on our vacation, I started my socks in the hotel room. And I knit pretty far on here while on the cruise. And then the rest has been since we got home. That's 2 months ago? No, almost 2 months ago. Next week. I also did a little Morse code in here to do Wonder, which is the Disney Wonder, which is the ship that I was on. I did a different color. I did a contrast. Well, I pulled from my stash to do the toe and the heel. And then I was just going to leave the cuff as it was. But in trying to make sure that my stripes matched, for some reason I didn't have this color. It was this color. Yeah. I thought I had the same color because I'm sorry, I'm not making any sense. The ball that I was using for this sock, I ran out. Grabbed what I had left of that ball. Thought I was grabbing this green, and it was actually this green. So they don't quite match. And also, I don't know if you can see this here, I thought I would do like a really squishy heel. So instead of purling on the return row, I was just gonna knit both ways. But I was in the middle of something and it just wasn't working right. So this sock has one row of a garter stitch. Is it garter stitch? That's this. Yeah, this is stuck in that garter stitch. Is the squishy. So anyway, that is my tale of woe on these socks. But I still love them. Nobody's gonna know about this part because it's gonna be on the bottom of my foot, and that's fine by me. So yeah, aren't those so cute? I love them. So, oh, I did want to say my recipe for vanilla socks. This is what I do all the time. I do my socks 2 at a time on magic loop. I do them toe up. I hate doing Kitchener stitch, so toe up is how I do it. I also do 60 stitches around for my foot. That's what fits me best. And then for the heel, I do shadow wrapped heel. I usually do about 85. I usually do 86 rounds because 8/6 is my birthday. I know, right? So I do 86 rounds for my foot. I do have a sock ruler, but just keeping a tick of how many is just easier for me. For my leg, I usually try to do my age. I don't know why, but that's like, ooh, let's do 45 rounds and then we'll start the cuff. Or I'll do 35 rounds and then do a 10 round cuff. So then it's 45 because I'm 45 right now. But I think I did a little shorter for this one because I was running out. So, because it was a 50-gram ball, so I wasn't going to get a whole big sock out of these doing a pair of socks. Long socks. Does that all make sense? I hope so. Anyway, and there goes that word again. So, makes in progress. I have 4. I have 3 written down, but I started one last night. I know. So, in here, my Disney Cruise Line bag. Got Mickey and Minnie on this side. It's a great bag. I love it. In here is like 14 colors. All worsted weight colors from my stash. Actually, it's one less because I took one to work for the 5K stuff. Anyway, So in here is the Starshine Christmas Tree Skirt by Jean Steinhilber. It's a Crochet Crowd pattern. Free pattern. I'll link it down below. I needed a new Christmas tree skirt. The one I had used, it was the Hobby Lobby version of Karen Simply Soft, which Karen Simply Soft doesn't stand up over time anyway. A generic version of it definitely will not stand up over time. So I needed a new one. I finished. So most of this yarn is yarn that I bought for my crocheting ladies. So this is all stash busting is really what this is. And I did have to go buy more white yarn, but and we got more yard work going. So here's my Christmas tree skirt so far. I love seeing this on screen. Look at how bright it is. Oh, it's gorgeous. So I started, I wanted a rainbow. My old Christmas tree skirt, I'll bring it when I'm finished with this. I'll show you and we can compare the two. The other one is blue with a white border because I used to do a blue and white only tree. But now we go and we buy ornaments from our travels, so we have all kinds of colors on our tree. So I wanted my Christmas tree skirt to reflect that. And so this part of the skirt I've been having issues with. I was gonna do another repeat where it was like a white row in between each color, but that was gonna make it super long and I really didn't want that. Even as I'm going, I'm still gonna be bigger than what the pattern calls for, and that's fine by me, but I just didn't want it that big. So the last time you saw I was here, I just finished the blue, then I had the purple and the pink, and now we're back to red, orange, gold, yellow, and light green. Then we'll get into these. So I really only have 6 more rows to go. And these rows are taking forever. And it's gonna be fun weaving in the ends, let me tell you. But just look at these colors. Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. And speaking of rainbows, we'll just go ahead and go skip. We'll do this all out of order of how I have it on my notes. In here, in this Stitch Beach Life is a Good Life, is my Rainbow Bright sweater. So the rainbow sweater is by Yelly Knits. Saw this wonderful sweater in person on a person a couple years ago. Have not gotten it out of my head since. And then when I really was like, okay, I need to go buy the yarn for this so I can do this, somehow it hit me. Rainbow Bright. It's one of my favorite characters from when I was little. And so why not make it Rainbow Bright themed? Yes. So last time I talked to you, I had started on the body. So I have the rainbow done, I have the sleeves done, and of course he's right by my house. Neighbors. And then I had done the provisional cast on to start the body. And I was 5 rows in, because I think last time I had just done the cast on. I had not really done any more rows. I did about 5 rows and I realized this is going to be too big. I shouldn't have cast on that many stitches. So it went into timeout for a while. It was pretty much in timeout this whole time since the last time I saw you. I then, Thursday night, Ryan was gone. I had the whole night to myself. I had just time where I could just sit and think about what I needed to do, not be bothered, and it was glorious. And so, the yarn I'm using is Cascade Heritage 6. It is a sport weight yarn. It is 75/25. And I'm using all the highlighter colors, except for orange. But, oh, excuse me. Like I said, highlighter colors. So here's the rainbow. This is, will be going on the right side, bottom side. And so here, I'm still like, this looks huge, but this is the right number of stitches that she said to cast on, based on everything. I will say this pattern, it cost me $12, but you get a Excel spreadsheet that has all the calculations for you. You just plug in your measurements and she does it all for you. Although I decided to do sport weight instead of DK weight, which the pattern calls for. So that's another problem, but I think we're gonna be okay. Right now, this is all I've got. Like I said, so there's this red part is the provisional cast on, and then there's 10 rows of my sweater. And of course I keep checking, like, do I have the rainbow attached the right way? All of that. Picking up stitches along this bind off is crazy, and I'm constantly worried if I'm doing this right, but it'll be okay, even if I don't have it picked up right. Is anybody really gonna be that close to my body to look at it? I doubt it. So now that I've got this working right, I'm not so mad at it anymore. So yeah, I can work on it again and not be so sad. But yeah, I love me a good rainbow, especially a neon rainbow like that. Okay. The third making progress that I have in my notes is the Fairy Maiden socks by This Handmade Life. It's living in my Mary Poppins bag. This is what I took with me to General Assembly. Or not General Assembly, District Assembly. General Assembly is next year. The yarn that I'm using. Do I have the band? I do. It is oat knit. So like haute couture, oat knit. This is her, let me get my glasses again, her cocoa fingering weight yarn. It is 100% superwash merino, and the colorway is Spring Elf. And this is what it looks like. It is pink and green and a beautiful springy color. And then I figured Fairy Maiden, Spring Elf, that kind of goes together. So here are my socks so far. This is the back, the bottom side, so you can see how the color knits up. So gorgeous. And then this is the pattern side. This is my cable needle. And I have realized I really hate doing cables. Why I chose. There may be a few more sock patterns that I have in my stash that I want to do. Just want to try them. But honestly, vanilla socks, that's what I prefer. But this pattern is really cute. I'm really enjoying it. And so I just want to show you this to here. So this little owl to this yellow stitch marker. That's all District Assembly. That is all District Assembly knitting. Yeah. So, and then a lot of this after the stitch marker is NMI convention and church. I only knit in Sunday school. I don't knit in the regular church service. But anyway, so there are my socks. I think they're really cute. But I do hate cables. I really do. They stress me out. And then, okay, my last make in progress. I started this last night. I'm very excited about this one. So, it is living in my Chicago Yarn Crawl bag from 2021. I'm using this bag because I bought this yarn on the Chicago Yarn Crawl 2025. And I will be going to the Chicago Yarn Crawl in 2026. I keep checking their website to see if they have any updates, and they haven't had any yet, so that's fine. So in here is the Sweet Pea Top by Evelyn and Peter. I will put a link to their website where you can find this pattern for free. Yeah, it is such a cute sweater. The yarn that I'm using is Cascade Yarn Sarasota. That's what it looks like. It is 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, and the color is 255. I will put the actual color and the colorway on the screen for you. This is a DK weight yarn. I really don't like working with cotton, and this definitely has, I mean, it's over half cotton, but yeah, I can definitely tell that's cotton, and I don't really like the way it feels, but this is what I have so far. Actually, let's do it this way. So here is my sweater so far. So it's done in 2 panels, and then you seam it together. That's fine. I will say I did make one modification. So it says to chain to start. I did a single crochet foundation chain. A foundation single crochet. That's what I did. And then I've done about 5 rows of the pattern so far. And I think I have to go to 32, maybe a little bit more. Make sure it's a little longer. But yeah, that's my sweater so far. So those are my makes in progress. I'm very happy with all of them right now. I was a little mad at the rainbow sweater, but I got over it. And so for, let's just say, let's call this my enabler section, or I have been influenced section. We will talk about that in a minute. So I bought some yarn online twice. Actually, I just bought some yesterday too. Anyway, so because of District Assembly being the same weekend as YarnCon, I was not able to go. I was very sad. And so I asked my husband, I was like, hey, since I can't go to YarnCon, is it okay if I order some yarn online? He's like, yeah, it's fine. I really don't, we're okay, you can order yarn. And I was like, honestly, what I order will be cheaper than if I went to YarnCon, because I have a hard time restraining myself at YarnCon. Anyway. So, because of Artemis 2, there are 2 yarn dyers that I follow. I've followed them for years, that have dyed yarn inspired by either the rocket ship itself or the pictures that they've sent back, all of that. The one I have bought from her before, I saw her at Stitches Midwest. Love her colorways, all of them. But Shannon at Yarn Baby, I have followed her for a long time, and I have never bought anything of hers, even though I admire her colorways all the time. I finally was like, I want to buy her yarn, and specifically because of this picture of the moon. I was like, and she made a colorway based off of that color based off of that picture. And so I did a pre-order. She set it up for pre-order. She wasn't gonna dye a lot, so I have some Moonjoy yarn to remember this time in our history, you know. So this is Moonjoy. This is her label, Yarn Baby. I will link her down below. It's artisan yarn for knitters and crocheters. Her name is Shannon. This is on her Lilith sock base, so it's about 437 yards for 100 grams. This is 90% fine superwash merino, 10% nylon. Look at those colors. Look at those colors. Oh, I love this so much. And then I bought another colorway to go with it. I do have a plan. I just haven't found the pattern yet. So here's the other colorway I picked. Oh, that's gorgeous. So this is on her Athena sock base, which Athena, Artemis, kind of. Am I getting my Greek and Roman goddesses mixed up? I may be. Anyway, so this is 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. And this is the colorway Iris. And so, what I'm thinking, I would like to do a cardigan. I've also been looking at just regular pullover sweaters. I really want a cardigan. I really want one that just kind of has a v-neck, lays flat. I would love to do, obviously, the body in this, because that's what I have most of, and then the sleeves and the button band in this. But trying to find a good fingering weight sweater that doesn't have a boat neck and buttons is difficult. So if you know of any good pattern, I would like it to be crochet. Yeah. I also love her little logo. It's basically a drawing of her with yarn skeins as hair. So that is my Moonjoy. So I don't need a tattoo of Moonjoy. I have yarn. And then also, I was influenced by Hannah. Like everybody is, right? So she just released a podcast this morning, but the one before that, she was talking about a backpack that she had bought. I have been looking at that backpack for a while anyway. So it didn't take too much talking to tip me over the edge. So I bought the backpack. It's in a pale purple color. Anyway. And then we've been commenting back and forth on YouTube about the Premier Yarns farm stand yarn, sock yarn. So Premier has had this sock yarn for a long time. I have knit the strawberry colorway from their fruits collection. Really like the yarn, really good yarn. But they came out with a new colorway collection called Farm Stand, so it's all based off of vegetables and herbs. And so she was talking about them. She's already knit a pair of socks. She's working on a tank top. And I keep looking at it. I kept going back to it and looking at it. And so I bought it. Alright, so the first color I bought said I'm going to make socks for my husband, who is a gardener. And you know what? He just needs some tomato socks. So that's what the colorway looks like. Yeah. Self-striping yarn. Let's see. It's a different base than most sock yarns. It is 93% acrylic, 7% PBT, which is like a nylon. I bought 2 skeins. These are 50-gram balls. So, especially if I'm making for him, I think I'm going to make a pair of shorty socks with this for him. Because I could get a pair of shorties for myself out of one 50-gram ball. I have already done that. But then, of course, you know, I need to buy for me as well. So I went to their fruit section again to look. I was gifted the strawberry colorway. Sorry for all the plastic noise. So I was gifted the strawberry colorway. Love it so much. I love those socks. I put a brown contrast color with it, so it looks like chocolate covered strawberries. But I was looking at the other colorways they have. There's blueberry, and there's a grape, which is a pretty purple, and then there's kiwi and lemon. On the fruit stand there was a purple basil, which is like purple and lime green. It just gives Disney villain to me, so there's a purple onion one, which I'm not a fan of onions, so I was like, I could do that one. The carrot one is really cute, but I was drawn to this fruit one because, of course, it's purple and it's pink. This is the colorway plum. So here's the fruits. We have Premier Fruits, and it's pink and purple, which are, I love those colors together too. I mean, they're tattooed on my arm. So, yes. And then one last thing that I want to talk about. I got a present from my cousin. She is a fellow yarnie. She knits primarily. She does a little bit of crochet. She just doesn't feel very confident in it, but I think she does a fabulous job. So she was at Five Below and found this kit. It's a knit kit. So I was like, I think I might crochet mine, but when she sent it to me, she was like, I just remember us going to this restaurant with Annika, who was her sister-in-law, so it was like my cousin-in-law. So my cousin's first wife, she passed away tragically. Oh gosh, 17 years ago. Anyway, so Tiffany, my cousin, was like, I just remember us going and ordering Shirley Temples all the time. I was like, I really don't remember that, but okay. So she sent me this Shirley Temple kit. I mean, I love me a good Shirley Temple. I order quite a lot, especially on the cruise. That's like my drink of choice at dinner. I don't know why. I could go with Diet Coke. I definitely always have water with me. But there's something about Shirley Temple. So I think I'm going to try to crochet this instead of knit it, because my knitting skills is kind of how she feels about her crocheting skills. So, yeah. And so it comes with, like, you know, the little cherry that you sew on the side. It has the eyes and the mouth. It even has stuff for a straw, which you can see it here. Like, that's gonna be so cute. It's 100% cherry. So, very excited about that. That could be like an afternoon. That could be my afternoon project after the 5K. So I'm looking at my schedule. This week was a weekend off. Very excited. Next weekend, we have the Elam 5K. So at my job, we have the 5K fundraiser. Then the next weekend is Mother's Day. I haven't talked to my mother about it, but I was thinking I might go up on Saturday. We shall see. Then the weekend after that, we have cleanup at the church, which we really have to do Friday night. Saturday, we could do some stuff, but the main stuff that, like, the big things that need to go out, we have the Crestwood cleanup day, which is the 16th, right? I feel like my days are off. Yes, the 16th. So you have to have everything set out the night before because they come by at like 7 in the morning. So Friday night is the night where we have to get a bunch of the big stuff out of the church that can be thrown away. So Saturday really isn't busy. It might be. Still waiting. Then the 17th, I leave for a conference. I will be flying to St. Louis, hopefully. With the way flights are being canceled right now. I don't know. So I will be in St. Louis for a few days. Then that weekend, there's nothing. And that is Memorial Day weekend. And I'm just like, where did May go? Like, I'm already like, where's my May going? My May is gone. I have so much to do. So, and then we'll have like 2 weeks, and then Ryan goes on to a conference. So, yeah, I don't know what my recording schedule will be like coming up. Hopefully, I will see you soon. And I have talked way too long, so I will see you guys later. God bless. Bye! Editing Lori here. Just wanted to say, the yarn that I just ordered, I already got the thing. It's shipped. It's in the mail to me. I will link them down below. Fangirl Fibers. Just beautiful colorways for any kind of fandom that you're a part of. But she came out with this box. That's why I kind of want to mention her and link it down below. If you are interested, short limited time. It's a blind date box. So you pick your weight of yarn, so either fingering or DK, and then you pick what kind of book you want. Romantasy, sports romance. There was another kind of romance. Thriller or cozy mystery. You pick that. So you get a book and then yarn, I guess, dyed to match the book. I'm kind of excited about it. So I have no idea what I'm getting. I do know I'm getting a DK weight yarn and a book. But what it is, I don't know. So if you want to, it's linked down below. Again, go check them out.